ka man, dalhin ang kapalaran. Iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman, pinagmulan at babalikan. Konting tiis na lang at hanggang sa araw na yan ay asal. Kami nandito lang, sabay na pakinggan ang mga kwento nyo. Isigaw natin sa mundo, bagong bayani namin kayo. Sipag at tapang nyo, hinialay sa mundo, sinasaludo namin kayo. Pilipino, itaas ang noo, ipagmalaki mo ang galing nyo, isigaw sa mundo.
Magandang hapon Europa, magandang gabi Pilipinas, kung saan man po kayo naroroon, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Happy Valentine's Day! Ihahatid po namin sa inyo ang iba-ibang kwento ng mukha ni Juan sa live streaming Kontra Corona here on Facebook and on YouTube. Napaka-special po ng araw na ito because it's Valentine's Day and of course kayo yung date namin. Apart from that, meron po kaming mga special guests. First of all, ako po si Rose Eclarinal. In the past 6 months, ako po ang nakakasama ninyo, kasama rin, of course, si Atty Dias and Jean Alcantara.
Hello! Ito ang Kwentong Pinoy, Kwentong Migrante, Kwentong JUANEUKONEK, Kontra Corona. I'm Atty Dias.
The National Lottery Community Fund is graciously funding this project to serve the Filipino communities in the UK and beyond. So wag na po nating patagalin. This afternoon, live from New Zealand, makakasama po natin ang nag-iisa, ang paborito kong Viva Hot Babe, Miss Asia Agcaoili. And of course, dahil Valentine's Day ngayon, kailangan din natin ng swerte dahil meron tayong mga ibang kababayan na naghahanap pa rin ng swerte sa pag-ibig. At makakasama po natin, syempre, ang nag-iisang feng shui queen, Miss Marites Allen. And ang Immigration 101 related pa rin po sa pag-ibig. Di ba, Crystal?
Absolutely. It's a very important day of the year. So watch this space po. We'll be talking about love and immigration.
So, wag na po nating patagalin ang nag-iisang Viva Hot Babe na favorite ko. Pwede ko na siyang sabihin ngayon dahil matagal siyang nagpahinga sa showbiz at ngayon po ay naninirahan na sa New Zealand. Mahaba yung babalikan namin ni Asia Agcaoili sa kwento na ibabahagi niya sa atin this special day. Welcome to the show, Asia Agcaoili. Hi! Happy Valentine's Day!
Hi, Miss Rose! Happy Valentine's Day, Miss Crystal. Hello, happy Valentine's. Ang gaganda, di ba? Nagaganda ang beauties dito. Maraming salamat sa pag-imbita dito sa akin. At yes, you are also my favorite journalist. Kakatok lang ako sa'yo. Yes! You know, we're there. You know what I'm saying? We go way, way back, definitely. And we are going to discuss that later.
Okay. So
ano pa lang?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Baby pa lang yung aking little boy. Yeah, we go way back.
Yes. So tell us, Valentine's Day, tapos na kayong mag-celebrate dyan because nasa New Zealand kayo. How did you celebrate your Valentine's Day?
Oh, I was just with my my son and my husband. So, you know, we did the regular thing and we're thinking, okay, you know, we cleaned the house and we just did some driving and things like that. It felt like an ordinary day for us. I'm not that big on flowers. That's the thing, you know, my husband knows exactly how I'm going to be happy about certain things. I'm very, very low maintenance, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And so what he did was he said, oh, do you want to get a massage or something? So he said, grab a coupon so that you can go to a massage parlor, okay? Because I can't massage you right now. But, you know, I'm quite satisfied with the chocolate more than flowers because I love to eat. So there you go. So it gave me chocolate. So that's it.
So tell us, ilang taon ka na dyan sa New Zealand?
I've been in New Zealand for 10 years now. So, yeah. And I'm really loving it here. Ano siya, para siyang, kasi landscape after landscape, everywhere you go, sobrang dramatic ng landscape niya. So, that's why I love it here. And, you know, it's quite laid back. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it quite well.
And tell us naman, sabi mo sa akin kanina, na bigla kayong ni-lockdown dyan because of COVID case?
Yes, that's right. No, so may tatlong community cases, bagong community cases sa Auckland. So nag-level 3 kami because of that. Kasi nga, you know, New Zealand is one of the best places who are handling the case, you know. So ngayon may 3 cases. I think yung lady na nagtatrabaho sa one of the quarantine hotel malapit sa airport or something. Isa sa mga staff ng kumukuha ng laundry, and then parang siguro nahawaan siya because of that. So, yung Auckland right now is on level 3, and all the rest of the country is on level 4. So, you know, we're very, very strict on that. And I think, you know, we're quite proud of how New Zealand is handling the COVID cases, and everyone's really trying to help each other and try to record wherever they go, you know, with this COVID app. And it's working quite well. And I think we are not in any, well, as far as, you know, I can see that we're not in any, we're not drunk of being able to handle this. We're all vigilant and making sure that, you know, it's maintained like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, yeah.
So let me just share with you, si Asia, una ko siyang na-interview in my 20s. Nagsisimula pa lang ako sa ABS-CBN. She was also starting with Viva Hot Babe. At saka isa yan sa mga assignment ko. Kasi pag, you know, you're starting, marami kami mga racket. We write for, you know, certain type of show. So, dun ko unang nakilala si Asia sa Philippines pa. But, you know, my first project with TFC when I moved to Europe was this yung lengthy format magazine show na One NU, hindi pa JUANEUKONEK, One NU, and then you were about to get married. And tell us about that. 2009 was it?
Yeah, yes, 2009. Ano, bago pa September, kasi I got married September 9, 2009. Para you know, kami, hindi namin makakalimutan yung date ng aming marriage anniversary. So we made sure it's 999. No, just kidding. But, yeah, so you went to Europe. So I was quite surprised because I do remember you interviewed me for Mr. Boy Bunda's show before, right?
Yes,
so,
yeah.
Right? So yeah. I do remember that. And then all of a sudden, yeah, we saw each other in Amsterdam, and yeah, that was a whole day, and you spend a lot of time with my mom as well, right?
And your family got to meet your husband, because you were about to get married. So ang tagal na pala noon, Asia. You know what? Ang maraming gustong malaman kasi alam mo, open secret naman yung buhay mo. You had a challenging decade because you moved to another country, and that on top of that, yung negosyo ng asawa mo, yung mega upload, ay nalagay sa kontrobersya without so much putting so much detail on the case dahil alam natin na ongoing pa rin yan. Yung karanasan mo na yon, how did it change your life and what did you learn from it?
What did I learn from it? I learned a whole lot about myself. One, because you know, when sometimes, diba, when you're you know, you get a lot of friends when you're high there, and then when you're during your low, and then you start knocking on certain doors, and they'll be like, you know, some people would kind of reject you and all that. But meron yung, you know, those people who were there during those low times, you know, those are your friends till the end, you know. And I'm quite fortunate to be put in, you know, you see, that's the thing. I'm quite fortunate to be put in a certain position in which you don't know who you are, and you have to pick yourself up, and at the same time you have to pick some other people up and say, hey, I believe in you, I think you can do this. And you know, and I'm also more fortunate because I'm surrounded by some people who have been tested in terms of friendship and relationship. So now mas na strengthen yung relationship ko with my husband and some colleagues of my husband. So for example, Matthias and Finn. So, you know, and it's good. It's a good thing because you know where you stand. And sometimes if you're surrounded by so many people and they're all smiling at you, and at the same time you kind of don't know, especially in show business, that happens a lot, right? And even in offices. But I suppose if you get into that kind of level, you know that relationship is strengthened and it will grow. And as long as you guys are together, you know, you can just really unite to have that one goal that you wish to achieve. And I like that, you know.
Okay. And tell us, bakit mo naman naisip na bumalik sa showbiz? Kasi recently you posted a video of yourself na kasama ka sa isang advert ng COVID sa New Zealand.
Oo. Kasi lumalaki na naman yung anak ko. Kasi nung nag-meet kita, okay, bago 999, yung anak ko nun, wala pa siyang, he's not even a year old. Now he's 11 years old.
Okay.
So, ngayon nakikita niya ako, di ba? Parang, tsaka yung minsan may makikita siyang, yung mga Filipino na parang, yung mami mo, ganito, ganyan, chu. So, parang gusto ko, at some point, maging proud naman siya sa akin, ganyan. Tsaka, you know, that's the thing about show business. Once you know, you get a taste of it and it bites you, you get that bug. And I suppose I've been in that world for so long, that's like my home. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
yeah, and I love performing. So yeah, it's gotta happen.
Yes,
That's so
Tisha.
cute.
Kasi yung career mo sa showbiz in the Philippines, medyo a little bit may pagka-controversial din because at that time, madalas kang nasa front page ng mga magazine and you have a beautiful body, pero meron ding mga nagsasabi na over the top. Now, tell me, ngayon sa pagbabalik mo ng showbiz, you're married and you have an 11-year-old kid, would you still be posing sexy or nude?
That totally depends. I mean, if it's in the right context, you know what I mean. I suppose during that time that I did my showbiz career, from, you know, because may formula yan eh, diba? You needed a break just to from that transition from being very wholesome, because before I got into Viva Hot Babes, I was doing a reality show as well, and I was doing modeling, and that was a lot wholesome, you know, like girl next door kind of thing. And then eventually I needed that break to kind of say, oh, I'm a woman now, and you needed that sexy scenes. And then eventually I transgressed into radio and all the drama, comedy, Big Brother, and all them. However, you know, what really got stuck to people's brains, or, you know, my writing, which is a great thing, you know, I also enjoyed that. And yeah, the sexy scenes, I suppose. So yeah. So, and I'm still, I have to say, you know, I'm still proud to have a sexy body. I mean, you know, that's you should be proud of yourself, right? So
That's true. So, ang dami mong transition in your life, no? A lot of people probably don't know, but Asia is a graduate of UP. She's very smart. She's talented. But as you said, Asia, parang for a certain period, you were boxed as this sexy star. Kasi ang ganda naman talaga ng katawan mo. So, syempre, if there's something that they should remember from you, syempre yung work of your body also. Not that you're not smart, pero syempre yung unang nakikita yung yung ganda, 'di ba? So,
yes, kasi Valentine's.
yes. And so, alam ko na malaking part of your life now is you're supporting your husband into the new business in New Zealand because he's a tech genius, that I know.
Yes, yes.
Para naman ma-excite yung mga kababayan natin na nanunood, you have something to give away? Tell us about it.
That's right. So this is the new business of my husband. It's called Mega Secure Cloud Storage. So sa inyong mga questions, mamimigay ako ng 5 or 10 100 gigabytes free storage that's worth 175 New Zealand dollars to anybody who asks any question. Okay? Go.
I will ask the first question. So ilagay niyo po dito sa streaming natin, yung mga nanonood ngayon, who is your favorite Viva Hot Babe? O, ayan ha. Super simple yan.
Ayan. Go.
Hindi pa natatapos dito yung kwentuhan natin dahil sa second part of the segment, makakasama po natin, of course, ang nag-iisang Feng Shui Queen, Marites Allen, Atty Dias, at makakakwentuhan pa rin po natin si Asia. Kung may mga tanong po kayo, please message us. I will read it. In the meantime, panoorin po ninyo ito. Kung hindi pa kayo nagsusubscribe sa aming YouTube, please do. We'll be back. Nagbabalik pa po ang JUANEUKONEK at nanunood pa rin po kayo sa aming special Valentine's Day episode. Ayan, ininervyos ako kasi nandyan si Asia. At nandyan pa rin, makakasama natin ang ating special guest also this afternoon. Without much ado, let me introduce her. Although hindi na niya kailangan ng introduction dahil kilalang-kilala po ninyo siya, ang nag-iisang Marites Allen. Hi, good afternoon, Marites.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's.
Look at yourself.
Oh my goodness. I just woke up kasi alam ko super sensitive ka. So nagpaganda ako kasi nandito sa Asia, di ba? So
woke up.
I wake up every morning like this. Seriously. Para good feng shui, di ba? Para good feng shui. You wake up in the morning, you have to, imbibe the good energy. And, with you beautiful people, oh my gosh, very well.
I love it.
Asia, we have to do our part, right?
Yes. Well,
That's
before we continue with our Q&A, para hindi naman masayang yung pagod ni Chad, can we watch this? This is all about Marites Allen. Okay? Panoorin natin siya.
Doing forecast is very important. It is better to be prepared. I am very honored and I'm very grateful to be part of your feng shui life.
Well done. This is,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
wala ka nang, alam nyo, wala na po kayong hahanapin pa kay Miss Marites Allen. Maganda, matalino, mayaman, generous, mabait, charming.
Meron pa.
Oo nga.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Parang
very,
dami pang
She's
ampaw
out to
dun, oh.
marry, right? Right. So, marrying Marites, I'm just gonna say, because it's good to have a connection like Marites, because she's like the godmother of my son, Brandon.
yes.
And lucky boy, princess.
And also the godmother of my daughter. So we're all kumare by extension also.
Oh, wow.
And it all started because of feng shui, huh? Many
It
years
started-
ago. Because
Oo.
of feng shui. Many years
Okay.
ago.
Many years ago. So, tell us, Marites, kasi alam mo, napanood ko yung guesting mo dito sa sa British television.
Okay.
My first question is, paano mo ba talaga i-pronounce ang feng shui? Some people say it's feng shui, feng
Yeah.
shui, or the Brits say feng shui.
Feng shui, yeah. Actually, the literal word in how you say it is feng, as in feng shui. And some of the people, they pronounce it as feng shui, like the British pronounce it. But for me, it's really like feng shui. So literally, the meaning is wind and water. So you have to go with the wind, you have to go with the flow. So life is like that. So if you have to go against with the flow, then the energy doesn't follow you. But if you just go with the movements of yourself, like if you're making a decisions and then you wanted to go the other way, then naturally the energies also doesn't follow you and you become very disappointed. So feng shui is basically, it's about working with the energies around you. And yeah, so basically that's how you pronounce feng shui.
Okay. So at least we're somehow correct. No, kasi pag nanood mo your last guesting, parang can they really pronounce it correct? Kasi wala pa akong Briton na nakakausap na nakapagsabi ng feng shui. It's always feng shui.
I think my husband does, because he's becoming so Nicholas would know how to speak it now. I mean, I think the family knows, right? But I think it depends on their local language. So, and there's no, I would say there's no right or wrong way to say it. It depends on how your local language talaga, how you speak it. I mean, I'm sure other people would say it differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, prepare your questions, but my first question for Marites is this. Siyempre, itong panahon, 2021, 2020 also, challenging year for a lot of us. Hindi natin ini-expect na by January, we are still on a lockdown, and it's February now, lockdown pa rin yung UK. So maybe you can tell us, for 2021, ano ba yung aasahan natin na swerte?
Well, 2021 is actually a year of hope. I would say it's a year of hope simply because the vaccines are here. And I think here in the UK, for as long as, I would say, they have a lot of opportunities here compared to others. Because honestly, I had been, I left Manila, I think, July. There, it was very, very parang, how do you call it? When you say lockdown, it's lockdown. But I would say here in London, when you say lockdown, it's a joke. Because honestly, I have to tell you this, when we arrived, I cannot remember a single day that my husband or my daughter or my son doesn't go out of the house. So for me, sabi ko nga, you know what, we did so well. It's been 10 months that, we don't have any illness. But sabi ko, please, please, please be careful. But I think it's the freedom that is being offered here. I mean, I know it's kind of a bit irresponsible. I sometimes get very upset. But moving forward, it's really like sometimes it's all in our mind. It is what it is right now. It is COVID. There's, the whole world is doing something to make sure that everybody gets through this. But in the meantime, you have the aspect of, like living life. So for me, what to look forward to, just keep continuing and just keep hoping for the best.
And like what I said, the vaccination here in the UK is fine. I look forward at the beginning. We are, a lot of people are very, how do you call it? Parang careful whether do you want to be vaccinated or not. But I think things are changing. So it's really like a choice between, do you want to be stuck at home, or do you want to be vaccinated and have the freedom? So, if you ask my daughter, even then, I mean, mommy, it's better to have it now. So, it's over with. Way back in April. I said, for me, I don't want, because I think for me as well, I mean, I think Asia knows that, when you have a commitment with your work, I said I signed contracts as early as December that I'm going to do all these guestings. And I said I cannot be sick. So I dare not be sick until I finish my commitment by February 27. After that, I'll be well. So looking forward for 2021, I would say it is definitely, I have a better hope compared to 2020.
Yes, you have questions, girls.
Well, that's good to know, isn't it? That
Yes.
we just had Chinese New Year, right? And looking forward to 2021. So Mare, with this Chinese New Year, what are we looking forward to, really? On top of, apart from the vaccine, and that's being rolled out in the UK. So what are the hopes that we can look forward to for the
Also,
20?
Yes.
can I
Yes, ma'am.
follow up? Can I follow up on that? Because it's year of the metal ox. Tama po ba? Tama,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
So for somebody like me, born in the year of the tiger, will it be a good year for me? And you're born in the year of Asia and Crystal.
What year are you born?
So year of the tiger,
1983.
year of the tiger.
Asia, what's your sign?
Virgo. Well, no. Year of 1983. What's that? 1983.
Anong month ka?
Oh, wow. 83.
September.
Akala ko
September.
Okay, I think basically it's like this. Yeah, when you talk about feng shui, there is going to be, each animal signs has their own lucky and unlucky opportunities. And I would always say this, that even though the forecast is bad for a certain, animal sign, there are always ways and means to capitalize on the luck of the year. So just to run through for our listeners right now, what are the forecasts for each animal sign? So the rat is going to have a good luck for the year simply because they are the best friend of the ox. But then the rat-born person has to be careful with their illness, because the illness star is with the rat. Then we have the ox. The ox, this is your year. You waited for 12 years, so naturally the energies can also be favored for you. The tiger, and in fact, the tiger has the so-called prosperity star. So this is in fact, Mare, for a person like you to really make sure that capitalize on the luck of the year. Because if you build something now, it could also multiply 9 times later. Okay, take note of that, 9 times. Rabbit, this is the luck for love, marriage, having a baby, starting a new education or career. This is good for you. The dragon and snake, I'd like to say be extra careful because you have the so-called misfortune star. Again, there are some amulets that you can use to suppress that bad luck. And then we have the horse. The horse is very victorious in 2021. The sheep, this is the enemy year, so be extra careful, do a lot of charity. Then the monkey is going to have a very good luck. The rooster has the wealth luck for the year. Then the dog and the boar, they have the so-called robbery star. So be careful with sort of like, losing money and everything. So in terms of business, anything to do with telecommunications to connect people from the other side of the world. In fact, this is exactly what we are doing right now. So anything to do with internet business, anything to do with health, well-being, the yogas, for example, are very, very good business to have. And anything to do with food, in terms of delivering food. So what I'm trying to say is that there's all still a lot of business that one can capitalize this year. So what you have to do and prepare is really prepare for the future now. So right now, what we are doing is perfect. We are being connected to each other. We are still delivering the message, in fact,
Yes.
to the public. And anything to do with the internet business is really the key to, I mean, now the homes are becoming a home office. So you have to now start to begin to really re-strategize your business. I mean, personally for me, since March, I have never, tama ka, Asia, di ba? So even for me,
Bigyan ko yung mamaya.
yes, please. So storage, we need storage for our videos and everything.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so
right.
Jay, our associate producer who's monitoring backstage, she said 1983 is year of the pig. So Asia is year of the pig.
Boar, yeah,
Yes.
year the boar, yes. And then we need Asia. We need at least two of each of the gigabytes storage cloud.
Oh yes, of
For
course.
video.
I'll give it to you later. I promise.
And I'll
So
send
And
you-
everyone, Miss Rose and Jay.
So Crystal, you're also Tiger.
Yes.
So Tiger kami.
You have the
Whatever we
prosperity
start,
star.
yeah. So whatever we start this year
You
will
could multiply
prosper.
9 times.
Woo!
Now you have to do it.
Wow.
You have to
Yes.
do it right. So I think doing something like, for example, knowing the lucky directions of your home. So making sure that you work in the northeast. If you want money, you work in the west part of your house. If you want victory, then you work in the south sector of your house. So for example, if you're asking me earlier, Maring Rose, how did I activate my fame luck in the UK? Like, I don't know why Daily Express, put my forecast up, the absolutely Mama in London, ITV. Honestly, I just activated the south corner of my home. So I just put my thousand birds, I put my Friga shawls and mantras. I just activated it.
Yan.
Yes, yes.
Kailangan ko yung shawl na yan. Parang napaka-magical. I need that magical shawl.
I'm telling you, that's why I came about of doing a Friga Fashion Fridays every Friday. O si Mari meron din. And then every Monday, I'm reviving my Fun and Fortune Feng Shui show because there's so many stories and really nice stories that my followers had, discovered and sharing to us.
Oo.
Miss
Just to clarify,
Nagtitinig mo ba yung vibration ng mga tao?
Yes, actually, because remember, ourselves alone, you know that, right? 70% our body is comprised of water element. So sometimes, di ba, when somebody talks to you and they're so tired and sad and lonely and crying, you get so affected, right? Then if you're watching movie and the movie was like so like lively and happy, then you also was like laughing, right? Because it's actually
Yeah.
so basically, I'm sure when you were like moving to a new house, you wanted to know the feeling of that energy, right? Like, oh, this is a nice
Yes.
house, but the other house you don't really feel good about it. So everything is about energy for us. So I think Mare and Asia and Crystal, just so for the benefit of the people watching us right now, I also and say this that the 5 elements of feng shui is really comprising the whole of the universe. So the colors I'm wearing, white, gold, and silver, are metal element. Colors, the red that you're wearing, red, pink, and purple, are fire element. The colors green, the flowers here beside me, is a wood elements. Earth elements are crystals, gemstones, and then the water elements are color black, blue, and gray. My fireplace is color black.
Yeah.
So I think anything that surrounds us are comprising the 5 elements, which is feng shui. So it's very important to know about these things.
At saka,
Yeah,
alam mo,
so,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, dear. Go ahead, Chris. Asia, yeah.
no, yung ano lang kasi, I'm quite curious with how different is, how subtle or how big a difference is yung halimbawa fire snake or like metal snake. Do you get what I mean? So, nagiging different siya every 12 years, right? And how different is it from, in terms of luck differences? Ano ba, mas swerte ba yung metal boar right now or something, metal
Yes,
ox
yes.
right now, or
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's a very good question, Aisha, because I mean, luck is not permanent. Nothing is permanent in this world except change, right? Same thing with
yes,
energy.
yes,
Like
yes,
now in the morning you wake up, you had a good morning, and then in the afternoon, all of a sudden it changes. So
yes,
same thing with the year. So this is the year of the metal ox, and then it depends on the set of elements that we see and we analyze, and therefore there could be some animal signs like what you're saying, although they are both snake, but because the element could be fire snake, wood snake, metal snake, they can also be
yeah,
very different in terms of luck. It's going to be a
yeah,
bit complicated to the people watching us right now, but to
yeah.
basically giving you a generic forecast, you can actually check it out on my YouTube, Marites Allen, which I just started. And then for the longest time, for 11 years, I was too lazy to start. But they can get all their forecasts on Marites Allen fan page, and of
Okay,
course, on my free guide.
Okay.
Just to be clear, Maring Marites, feng shui is not a religion,
It's
right?
feng shui is not a religion. It's not magic. It's never a superstition. It's a science. So, like what he said, whether one believes in feng shui or not, whether you are guided or not, I would say that feng shui is there for us. Again, like what I said, some people say I don't really believe in feng shui, but hey, even if you don't believe in feng shui, look at the colors that you're wearing. That's a fire element. Look at the communication that is supporting us to each other. It's fire element. The food that we cook the food with the fire elements. The metal element is the steel that we put in the house. The cell phones, the laptops are metal. The knives and forks are metal element. The wood elements are the flowers, the trees. The grass are
yes,
wood elements. The colors green are wood, and then the earth elements are the pebbles, the stones, the mountains. The earth element. This is where we build our homes. As earth
yes,
elements. The plates and the mugs are all made of earth elements. So what I'm
yeah,
trying to say is, whether you believe in feng shui or not, I'm sorry, my friend, your decisions, your emotions, your energies are surrounded by the five elements.
yes.
Well done. Okay. You
Very
know,
well, yeah, very well
can I
said.
just
It
share
becomes
with
a
you?
feng shui 101, ah. It becomes like a feng shui 101.
Oh, but let me just share with you when Marites took us to a trip in Italy
Uh-oh.
to visit Padre Pio. Marami akong although I know her, marami pa rin akong natutunan sa kanya in terms of applying feng shui in your life. At na-realize ko na maraming kinalaman yung feng shui sa practicalities and way of living. Kasi in that long trip, going to the airport in, what was that?
Yeah, yeah. It's like Bari Airport from Patrocini.
Bari Airport.
Yeah.
Na, sobrang layo and we had a long trip, mga 2 hours yata. And
Yeah.
I
From the
picked
airport.
some of the things I learned from her. Yung very basic na ina-apply ko ngayon, she told me na yung before you throw away things, say a little bit of prayer or mag-thank you sa items and
Yeah.
stuff like that, because that's an energy. Also, yung starting your day with a prayer or positivity.
Gratitude,
You,
yes,
you line up what you will do for the day. Kasi in this busy life of ours, we are so connected with our phones that the moment we wake up, we just do the phone and
Yeah.
all,
Different-
and
yeah,
we're forgetting about us, about ourselves, and
Mm.
trying to make a map of what you're gonna do during the day. Di ba, Mare?
yes,
So
Yeah.
parang have a clear mind of what you need to achieve within the day. I think it's important during the lockdown na parang one day at a time kasi we don't know what the future holds, di ba?
Yeah.
Although we're
yes,
positive because there's the vaccine nga, as you said, pero mag-ingat pa rin, magdasal pa rin, and find out about your good feng shui.
Yeah.
Mahaba pa yung diskusyon natin, but can I just, bago po mawala itong tanong na ito sa nanunood sa atin, ayan, may nanalo na ng isang mega cloud
voucher, mega voucher,
voucher. Yes, this is a
Wow.
yes,
question. Yes, this is for Joyce Takahashi. Taga saan kaya si Joyce? Parang Japanese yung name niya.
Yeah.
Question po para kay Idol Miss Asia. What New Zealand culture you think is valuable to you to be a good person?
You see, New Zealanders are very big on be kind, be very kind to each other, which is very, very, I mean, it's very basic, but the way that they really do it here, that's the first thing that they do. You know, they try to reach out to make sure that you're comfortable, and they ask, "Are you okay?" And I really like that. I really carry that around, and I totally agree on that. And also, they're very big on be humble, sit down. So they don't like it when you're, you know, wearing all these Gucci and, you know, all these designer stuff. You know, not a lot of, you know, I think it's too much of a braggart for them. And sometimes it's just, it's funny because you go outside and then you just see people fishing with their, you know, sometimes they look raggedy, but actually they're, you know, multi-millionaires. They have a freaking yacht here, or, you know, a billionaire there, and they just don't care. And I really like that. I really, really like that. You know, we need a lot more of that. And I remember, because, you know, it's easy, you know, for somebody na has been to so many cities, and you kind of gauge and you kind of know, you get to meet a lot of people. And there's some cities that you've been at or you've stayed at, in which they look at you from head to toe, and they want to calculate how much you're wearing, and then they ask you, what do you do, how much do you you know, how much is your salary? That doesn't fly here. They just don't care, you know. They want to get to know you as you, and I really like that, you know.
Okay.
There you
Wow.
go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Eto naman, this is a private message to me by one of my friends na nanonood po sa, hindi ko na-identify kung nasaan siya. Gusto daw nilang makita. Can you please ask Asia to stand up and show us how beautiful her body is? Kasi sexy pa rin daw ba si Asia?
Oh my God! Tayo daw ba
Yes.
ako?
Sexy pa rin po siya. Look at herself.
Oh, wait. I'm just I'm actually okay. I'm just gonna stand up a little bit because I'm gonna try to stand up.
Oh,
I'm wearing my outfit.
you don't want to be censored. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
I'm glad my husband is not watching this, you know.
Okay. So, ayan, nakita mo na, my friend. I will not mention your name. Ayan, napag-picture siya. Sexy pa rin. Nakita mo naman ang waist.
Oh,
diba?
Hindi ako makatayo. Sorry.
What do you do? Do you have like a specific exercise regimen, diet, Asia?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. You know, I don't like diets na sobrang strict. But what I do, because I'm a sweet tooth. I love chocolate. I love chocolate. You know, I love chocolate so much that I can do chocolate high or sugar high in just 15 minutes. You know, I can get there just that fast. But what I really, really do though is I run a lot. So sometimes I run 4 kilometers, 8 kilometers, 12.
Wow.
Especially if, you know, you've kind of eaten so much already and you go, oh, I need to do a deficit now. And then that's when you try to lose as much as you can by running. That's why I love running. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Are you gonna have another baby? I have a question. Are you gonna have another baby after your boy, or no more na?
Hindi, no more na. Isa lang. Yeah, so. And he's quite happy with that. Sabi niya naman kasi, kung gusto ko raw magkaroon ng anak, kinakailangan magkaroon siya ng kuya. So, parang
It's not possible. But what about your husband, Asia? Doesn't he want to have another child?
You know, honestly, alam mo, yung, di ba tayo, mga babae, may mafe-feel natin yung parang gusto ko ng may body clock tayo. Actually, men also have that. You know, subconsciously, I could kind of see that with him. He goes like, would be nice to have one more. And I go like, huh.
Mhm.
They probably don't feel it because they don't really have that body clock within them. But there is this subliminal thing that, oh, I need to create some more. They
Okay.
also have that.
Okay.
So, pero
There's
hindi na, ayoko na.
Okay. There's another
Yeah.
question from our friend si Kath Vandertol na kasama natin last week. And I met Kath in Amsterdam because of Asia. What do you miss
Yes.
from Amsterdam? Ano daw ang namimiss mo sa Amsterdam?
Siyempre ikaw, Catherine. No! No, you know what I miss about Amsterdam? It's a whole lot of things. Like one would be the safest bicycling area. The cyclists there are really the king, you know? Ang ganda-ganda ng napaka-safe mag-bicycle dyan. Dito naman kasi, that's the thing. Kasi yung trend dito, nagiging, we need to cycle, sa Auckland most especially. But I think they're on their way on making the cycling area better. Especially, kasi ang New Zealand very concerned sila sa environment. They're, and yeah, just keeping, napansin ko rin dito na parang they really love their own products. And that's a good thing, especially now na COVID na, diba? Parang, we kind of have to really support each other in the community or in the country, for example, and everything. So I think that's a good thing na parang they're very big on that, and I totally agree on that. Yun lang yung namimiss ko sa Amsterdam. What else? Oh my God, the accessibility of all the trance music, because I love trance music and house music sa Amsterdam. Ayun, yun lang.
What about the canal? The
Yes.
Amsterdam Canal, don't you miss it?
Oh yes. If it's during the summer, during the summer, and you gotta
Yeah.
have a great big coat for that. So
Yes.
yeah, because I did a lot of parties in the canals before. Kasama ko yung mga friends ko. We just go around one afternoon and everything. I don't know if you could do that anymore in Amsterdam.
Ako naman what I miss in Amsterdam, even if you're not asking me, Kat, it's so small. Because I lived in Amsterdam when I studied at the University of Amsterdam. Ang liit niya, so parang relax lang lahat. You don't have to be rushing. So unlike London na ang busy rat race, Amsterdam, just perfect for biking, for walking, and then wala lang, relax lang yung mga tao. That's, yun ang nakaka-miss. But we have that na in Kent. So, ito na, pagbigyan po natin ang ating nag-iisang J Monteliban MacLeod. Can I ask a question to get free mega storage? Of course. Jay, you don't need to ask question. We will give it to you, my dear.
Nandiyan na.
Okay. Baka naman tanungin na rin natin yung niya. For both Asia and Marites, before we go on a break, what advice can you give to the single people out there who are still looking for love but are struggling, especially because of COVID restrictions? So,
Tinder, Grinder.
That's what people do, right? That's what people do.
Yes.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
So,
I have
not
to really
sure.
advise you that.
I don't know how it looks, and I may have to check it out later. But I mean, honestly, I've seen one artista who recommended the same thing, but I think it's really quite tough. I mean, I would say it's tough. Perhaps maybe thanks to Facebook, you can reconnect with your old friends. Try to also initiate. I think for me, you do not wait, especially if you're the one looking. Then initiate something, and then in terms of feng shui, what I can advise is activate the southwest of your home. You can put like peony flowers. You can put a pair of mandarin ducks. You can put a photo together with your prospect, kung sino man yung guy na gusto mo. So that's how we call it in feng shui, is activation of the southwest corner of your homes. And it's Valentine's. It's about love. So if you ask me how I activate my married life for so long, even though we travel a lot like crazy, is I make sure that the southwest and northwest of our homes are always intact and activated with those feng shui symbols. And we've been married and together for the last, what, 22 years.
Wow.
And honestly,
Congratulations.
thank you. So I think, feng shui plus, I would say, is the trust. So trust your feeling. So if you're looking for someone right now, remember nung unang panahon, I'm not sure, Mare, when di ba pag meron tayong paboritong artista, or like, I remember in my time, I had like Tom Cruise, Charlie Sheen, na mga poster. I don't know, my high school life, and I will put it in my room, as a decoration. So if you want to invite men into your life, put these photos in the southwest. Looking the
Oh, that's good too.
yes. Pero hindi ka na pwede maring Crystal kasi may asawa ka na.
You just put the picture of
Put the
Chris.
people out there, of course.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
We have one to be given away to Jay, of course. And the one who asked questions, si Joyce Takahashi. And our friend in Amsterdam, si Miss Kath Vandertol.
Kathy, yes, that's right.
Hindi pa po nagtatapos ang ating discussion, ang kwentuhan natin ngayong Valentine's Day. Mayroon pa tayong isang segment, Immigration 101, related to love, pag-ibig. And I posted this on my Facebook. What do we have in common? Me, Marites, Asia, and Crystal. We will answer you sa pagbabalik po ng JUANEUKONEK. Nagbabalik po ang JUANEUKONEK at ngayon Immigration 101. Wala kayong choice but to stick with us kasi pa rin po Miss Asia Agcaoili, Marites Allen, and of course Crystal Dias. Okay, what do we have today? As if we don't know.
Valentine's Day is a very special day. So to all lovers out there, it's not just for couples, but for everyone celebrating love. But for Immigration 101, we will be talking about love and immigration. So I'd just like to ask muna itong sa mga guests natin, particularly Miss Marites, because Miss Marites is actually married to a British national, and you said you've been together for 22 years. But can you just give us a little bit of story? How did it all begin for you guys? For you and Nick. Nicholas is his name, right? Can I mention his name?
Yeah, Nicholas, your friend. Yeah, so basically, I think my life story is out there. I was annulled from my first marriage. I had 3 small kids. And then I activated feng shui, the southwest again. I was sleeping, making sure that my head is pointing to my love and marriage direction. So the photo that you see there, Kirk, Kevin, Shannon, are actually only barely, I think Shannon was only 6 months old when I met my husband. And then Nikki is our 4th child. So therefore, in terms of how it started, I remember in 2000, this is like so long ago, 2010. So this is like 11 years ago that, we woke up one day and then my husband said, when you finish going around Metro Manila and everything and the whole Philippines, like, what's next? What's the future? So we decided, I think I remember it vividly, in July 20 of 2010, my husband said, let's go and move to England. And I said, what? Like, what about my career? What about my business? I'm doing so well. I have like 6 boutiques doing so well then. And he said, no, because, next month, Kirk is turning 18. So that was really the issue. So we were rushing. And I believe ours was a very unique and different case, Crystal, because we have already been married for a while. So it's very easy for us to just go to the embassy, to the British embassy in Manila, we have submitted our applications, and then I think we got our settlement visa for like in the like 48 hours. So we all have our settlement visa. We were allowed to bring two of our mates at the beginning, and then I remember you just have to show support, like, a bank statement that you are not a burden to the government. So you have to have like the house ready in Oxford. But Shannon and I had to come ahead to look for properties. So I look around, Westminster here in London. We went St. Albans, Westminster. I check out Kent's, and then it comes like wherever you want to put the kids in school, you have to be within 1 kilometer radius. So I kind of like Oxford, so because Oxford is very nice and homey and safe, and so we settled for Oxford at that time. But I think I would say it wasn't very difficult because we had been traveling back to the UK all the time. And, I have a spouse visa way back in the early 2000. So I think in terms of moving and everything, it wasn't that difficult. I think for me, it's more on the adjustment. Like, when we move in Oxford, when we were looking a lot around here in London, the houses are so small, and I had to go through that, adapt to the reality that Asian homes are very different from here. Because remember, we brought our maids, so at least comfort zone is there. But I would say the immigration process really was a straightforward thing, and then I believe in 2 years, although I was sort of like exempted because you cannot leave the country for more than 90 days, Maria, right? To get your
Yes.
citizenship, yes. But for me, because I managed to show that my business was in the Philippines, my kids was on Oxford. They have seen my Facebook activity. They have seen my website. So even though I was away from the country for like, I don't know, 180 days in a year, on the second year I got my citizenship.
Yeah.
Well done.
And
But
for 2 years
can I
running.
can I ask the same question to Asia? Because Asia is married to a Dutch, and when she left the Philippines, she was at the top of her game. Asia, you were big in the showbiz.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, nasa kasagsagan ng kanyang career, and then you went to the Netherlands. So, what was it like for you? Kasi syempre, for you to stay in the Netherlands, kailangan mo rin ng immigration advice, kailangan mo rin asikasuhin ang visa mo.
Yes, that's right. I suppose it helped a lot that when I left Netherlands, I was really on top of my game, and there's like a record of that. And so it was easy for me to do that. However, my husband is saying that it's a lot harder on the back end because he was the one who was doing all the
Paperwork.
other side. And knowing him, he doesn't, he doesn't muck around. He has to, get it. He has to have it. And he was saying, it was really, really difficult, more especially because, I'm an artist. It's not like, it's not like I'm a programmer or something like that. But I suppose we're lucky enough to get through it. And apparently, when I got that visa, and then what I had to go through just so that I could stay there, I had to study the language, right? And when I studied the language, I think it was level 1 was the requirement to study the language, but I did up to level 4, so that's pretty, that's more than okay. So so in terms of, because I remember they were saying before that they got a lot of people to Netherlands. However, some of these foreigners did not want to or did not speak the language because they didn't require them to speak the language. Therefore, for generation and generations, these clumps of people, they just stick around with each other because they understand the language and never bother to actually speak the language, which pissed off a lot of the Dutch people, which is, naturally so, right? I mean, you're in their country, at least kind of know, not just I'm sure you can speak your own language, but at least be bilingual or something like that. I mean,
So do you speak?
But I did that anyway.
You speak Dutch?
Yes.
Oh, come on, show
Yes,
off.
I speak
You know,
Dutch.
Dutch.
Ja, hoe gaat het met jullie, mevrouw? Ja, ik ben ik ben een Nederlander. Ik vind het echt niet, het is een beetje moeilijk taal, maar ja, ik kan het wel. Ik kan het spreken.
In English? In English?
What is that in English?
No, I said yes. I speak Dutch. I am Dutch, and I do speak the language. It's not such a very what was that? Sorry, there's a bit of feedback going on.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not much. I said, it's a little bit difficult language because it's not because for us it's a difficult language to actually hear and accept because we're very used to very suave language, one would say, because we the Americans, the Chinese, it's a very sing-song or like the very flowing kind of language. With Dutch and German, it's a bit more like so for us, it's kind of hard because hot. It's almost like you have a phlegm in your throat a lot, and so when you express it, and it's quite something, I'd say. Quite a learning experience, definitely.
Okay.
It's a real shock.
Crystal?
So, just picking up on what Marites, Ms. Allen had said at the time, things were, if you like, quite relaxed in the UK. But since 2012, they've changed the rules. So you can't just get settlement straight away. In fact, when they changed it, it started off 2 years. Then after completing 2 years, then you can apply for settlement. But now things have changed. You have to complete 5 years in the UK before you can apply for settlement. But I think I do have a short video.
Yes.
Is that okay to show now, Rose?
Okay, this is the advice for all of you guys na magdadala po ng spouse, ng partner ninyo dito sa UK. Here's very useful advice from our solicitor.
I do get inquiries.
Oops.
Yeah. Where's Chad?
It's frozen.
Oh no.
What happened?
I was all made up and everything, I was ready
that. Yes.
But I think that because it's Valentine's Day today, I was going to say that I do get inquiries from people wanting to bring over their partners, their fiancé, their spouses. Because of the pandemic, it's quite difficult at the moment. But just bearing in mind what you need to do is really one thing that you have to show to the Home Office is your relationship. You have to be in a genuine relationship. If you're applying as a fiancé, you have to have physically met your partner. But when proving relationship, you have to show loads of paperwork. For example, telephone calls, remittance slips if you're like sending money, any letters, photographs, things like that. So you have to show relationship. Now they have introduced in 2012 financial requirements. So that would be, there's a financial threshold if you're working of 18,600. So those anyone that are not working and not earning that money, it will be quite difficult to show unless you have other forms of source of income. Now, accommodation, if you're renting a property or if you own it, you've got to show it's not overcrowded. So it's quite important that to show that there is a space for you and your partner. You have to do English language test. Just pointing out what Asia had said, you've got to do the language test, also A1 level in the UK. You've got to show that you're able to speak the language of the country. And also Philippines, you have to do a tuberculosis test. It's
it's a 6-month certificate, which means within the 6-month period, you've got to make your application. So at the moment, you can make the application. You can lodge the application online. So it's done online now, and then you will get your a biometric appointment. The decision time will take about 3 months, but if you pay more money, it could be shorter than a month. Now, when you can come here, because of the travel ban and the restrictions, it all depends because of the lockdown. But that's the quick.
I do get inquiries from sponsors.
There is.
That's quick.
What is going on?
Can I just say that
I do get inquiries from sponsors wishing to bring over their partners to the UK. But what do you need to know? About the sponsor, they have to be British or have settled status in the UK. That means they must have indefinite leave to remain. They must also be 18 years old, and the same for the applicant. So when making the application, you have to meet a few requirements. First, the financial requirement. The financial maintenance, it has to be, for example, when the sponsor is working, he has to be earning at least 18,600. And the accommodation, they have to show there's enough or sufficient space for both of them that is not overcrowded. Now, relationship. What about it? Well, you have to show that you are in a genuine relationship, that you are in regular contact with your partner, that you are in constant communication with each other. You have to make sure you have documents to prove this. You also need to show that you have passed the English language test and the tuberculosis test. When the application is made, you wait until a decision is made at the Home Office. When the visa is granted, you can then come to the UK and spend 2.5 years. Before it expires, you then extend it for another 2.5 years, completing 5-year stay in the UK. You have to make sure you have the intention to stay in the UK permanently. Now, once you have completed 5 years, you can then make an application for indefinite leave to remain. If your partner is British, you can make straight away an application for British citizenship. So that's it. If you want to spend the rest of your life in the UK, you just have to make sure you meet the immigration requirements.
Thank you, Maren.
Yes, yung mga nanonood po, we will post this separately on Facebook of JUANEUKONEK para mayroon po kayong guidance if you want to review it. Salamat, Chad. Ninervyos si Chad kasi gusto niya talaga magkaroon siya ng storage. So don't worry, Chad. You will get it.
You're shaking Miss Boots because you have two beautiful ladies in the house. Oh my God.
Can I also just share this to those who are, I think I remember now, because, I just sort of like recall me because it's been so long. I remember in our part, because it's really very unique in a way that, remember that my 3 kids were from my first marriage, but then they were like, Nicholas had adopted them, like way back then. So number 1 rules, mga kaibigan, is you have to have a very good lawyer. I remember that we have a very good London lawyer who had to go through this very, I think because, if you're bringing in dependents, anywhere else in the world, you can actually bring them, but except the UK. Because the UK, you have to go through so my lawyers then, our lawyers then had to parang write a very, very good prayer and support. They have to check with the Geneva Convention that, this kids has been with us, together with Nicholas and myself. And then we have to, I remember we have to put this set, I think about as amount of money. I remember it's like £50,000 that we have to put in a bank. We can attach it, and we have to make sure that the house that we are getting from Oxford is all taken care of for the rest of the year. That's why immediately you have to prepare all these documentations first. This is what Crystal was saying. All the photos, the communications, banking statements, properties, whatever, to prove that you had been together. even the school records of the kids. I mean, luckily they all went to a British school curriculum, so it was very easy for them to move. But I think rule number one is prepare all your documents properly. And then once you lodge it and apply, it's just like really smooth. So you cannot like go back and forth. So we did a lot of research. And number one rules, mga kaibigan, get a very good lawyer. So our lawyer, because like what I said, maganda yan, Mare, all the countries on earth does not accept our scenarios because nga, the kids were so little then, and they were like, you know, Nicholas, although they were in school, grade school pa lang, they're already using the last name Allen. But our lawyers then had to fight and get like the Geneva Convention, all these rules and everything. Because it's so unique pala. The UK is very unique. So yeah, so if you ask me, it wasn't sort of a hurdle. It was really more on parang going through the rules. Tapos 2010 was the last year where the government allowed for us, kasi parang my husband is a returning resident, diba? So whatever comforts you are using in your country, we were allowed to bring in the nannies then. So that's how far I can remember.
And you forgot to have, and you have to have smart friends. Remember, I was the one, even if I'm not a solicitor, I was the one who advised you on how to lodge that citizenship application without submitting your original documents. But that's for another segment. And you were challenging.
Oh, I wouldn't know that one.
But that's for the UK. Now, I posted on my Facebook, sabi ko, we have something in common because we're all married. Kaming apat po, we're all married to foreigners, non-Filipinos. So we all had to, well, not, except for Crystal, because she's always lived in this country. So me, I moved to the UK. Asia moved to the Netherlands, now in New Zealand. Marites also. So we had to go through that immigration process. It's straightforward if you have set aside or na compile po ninyo lahat ng mga documents ninyo to prove about your relationship.
Yes, that's true, because once you get there, dapat yung wag ka masyadong aang-angan na parang, oh, ganito yun. Ikaw na, it's your ball. You go, oh, this is my papers, this is my thing, this is my thing. Yeah, you gotta look smart,
Yeah, for us talaga, it was straightforward because we gave them more. I mean, I think like what I said.
That's right.
Got a good lawyer. And we were amazed. 2 days lang. We had it from the British Embassy. And of course, you have to, even here, Mara, remember, you have to go through all this, like, I remember they even have to check on Google Earth, where are you residing? Is this really your residence? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, and I think it's really like about the honesty as well. So do not ever try to forge any documents. Make sure it's a legit document.
Yes.
Otherwise, magkakaroon ka talaga ng problema.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I just read some of the comments of our viewers? Sa nanonood po ngayon, Jean Alcantara is watching. Of course, salamat, Jean. Co-presenter, kasama natin sa JUANEUKONEK. Dan Revelo. Oh my God, ito yung favorite ko na comment ni Dan Revelo. What did he say here? They are more than stars. They are the concept.
You are the star of the show. Hi, Dan.
No,
you are the brightest.
Wag na yan. This is what I meant. JUANEUKONEK, kudos JUANEUKONEK for the congregation of beautiful women on Valentine's Day. Salamat, Dan.
Wow. Girl power. Girl power.
Girl power ito.
Our usual supporter, Nelly Sharon Family. And also the birthday is, stay blessed and beautiful guys. Happy Valentine's. Also from my FWA ladies, Doc Remy, she's always watching, and Tita Dulia, the chair, and I just saw them earlier on. So thank you very much for your
Happy
support.
Valentine's po sa inyong dalawa. I'd also like to greet my mom, Happy Valentine's Day, and my former teacher in high school who accompanied my mom on Valentine's Day. Para hindi siya malungkot, Happy Valentine's. And of course, the mom of our associate producer, Jay Montelibano, si Mommy Linda Montelibano, Happy Valentine's Day po. Thank you for
And
your
my mom.
And your mommy also.
Yes.
Mommy celebrate.
And my mommy. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. Happy Valentine's Day. And happy Valentine's Day.
The finale question, what are we gonna do in this COVID Valentine? How is everyone gonna celebrate in a
I
COVID?
know.
Diba?
Stay at
Parang
home lang. Stay at home. I just decided to put these flowers from my husband sa background. And Crystal also.
Oh, Marites. And when are we going to meet up? That's the next question. 'Cause,
Sorry?
you know, how are we going to meet up? Because we only met like once. That was
Virtually.
it.
No, if you're in London, please come. Visit me here in London.
Yeah,
I got,
when we
I
look
got
down,
this beautiful house because I thought I'm gonna have party with you guys, but
And then it's locked down.
Hirap.
Oo. Okay. So we have a couple of people na makakatanggap po nung storage from Asia Agcaoili. And of course, syempre, dapat mabigyan din natin si Mr. Dan Rivelo kasi ang dami niyang comments kahit siguro buong show magko-comment si Dan. So Dan, you will have one. You have I will private message you para sa mga address po ng mga bibigyan natin ng little bit of souvenir and gift from Asia Agcaoili. Did Asia just disappear? Na-disconnect ba si Asia?
Baka gabi na sa kanya. It's very, very late there, you know?
I know. So we have to wrap up po. We have to end the show now. Sorry kasi nag-aantay pa yung asawa namin kahit nandito lang sa bahay. We have to have a little bit of date also. Disconnected si Miss Asia also. Sad hindi natin siya nahinga ng parting message. But to end our episode, this Valentine's Day episode, maybe we'll start with Marites on tips na lang for kasi siya may pinaka-mahabang marriage eh.
Yes.
What I think, okay, Jane.
Yes.
Ano nga ba?
What's your secret?
Yes, for everybody to have a sort of like, you know, like a good marriage in a way, no matter how much distance you are from each other. My husband actually, when we get married, he imposed a rule. We can never be apart for more than 14 days. Okay? So, however or wherever we are in the world, and he really kept that promise. Number 2 is trust. You have to trust each other. So I think for me, like what he said, it's very different because having a relationship, for the second time is really very important, and trust is really a key for every relationship. And I would say it's really like the give and take. Wala nang tayong panahon, but I think I would say a Filipina being married to a Brit, syempre sometimes mataray din ako eh. Maldita ako, Mari eh. So I'm so maarte, I'm so maldita. I am so parang happy because my husband is the one who would bring me tea in the morning. I used to drink tea then, but not now. But then he would make sure because now I drink like water and lemon in the morning for 10 years. So he's the one, parang it's become like a habit. And then in return, in exchange, I also make sure that, you have to know how to look after them. Sabi ko sa kanya, wag mo lang ako paplantsahin. Ayoko magplantsa, ayoko maglaba. Gusto ko lang magluto. I can cook. And I said, I would really say is really trust. Trust with your partner is very important. And of course, you should have enough love making or have sex all the time. I'm just making an anxiety.
Sayang na-disconnect si Asia because she will give some really good tips, Yan ang, but well taken.
That should have been one of the segment today as well, Rose. Come on.
Well noted yung mga advice ni Miss Allen, ang ating kumare.
Yes, generous love. Love is good. Generous
Crystal.
love. Yes. Crystal, what about you?
What about me?
Yes, tip.
Oh, well, we always say, I love you all the time. In the morning, in the evening. So it's kind of like just saying it out loud makes a difference, So yeah, we've been together for a long, long time. So today is another day, but it's special because it's Valentine's Day. So yeah. Yes.
Advice?
But can I just mention we have Raquel Scrivens who's watching on YouTube. So she's another FWA lady.
So she will get also the mega storage,
Yes.
Raquel, because you're the only one there watching on YouTube. Everybody else is here on Facebook. So maraming salamat po sa inyo. Advice, I don't know. I have advice. I don't think it will work for because I think magkakaiba yung relationships and yung mga asawa natin. Ako, I demand. So I'm very demanding. Mas malaki yung sinakripisyo ko sa pagtira dito sa UK. I have all my family in the Philippines. So I tell my husband, he has to treat me really well. Kasi kung hindi, hindi kami magkakasundo. But having said that, kailangan din ipakita mo na you also do your part. Like I do my active service also to my husband, however little it is. So, Asia, we're just waiting for you and we're doing bye. For what is your advice for a lasting relationship or marriage or a happy relationship?
Well, for a happy relationship, I think, to be honest with you, I've been together with my husband, and that's quite a long time for me. It's the longest lasting relationship I've had, and for me, it's about having patience with each other. So there would be times where you clash, and when that happens, you can always just walk away and do certain things, and then eventually just find yourselves in this common ground that you don't want to get things to get escalated or things like that, and just be honest as well with what you feel and what you think. And sometimes when you're angry, it's best not to fuel it a bit more. So there you go, that's my advice. And have some time for yourselves.
Yes.
For as in separately or together?
No, together. Kahit na simple thing lang, like, okay, you just walk in the park or something like that. It doesn't have to be extravagant, just simple things like when you want to clean the bathroom together, or these simple things, it matters a lot. It's just about being there, being present, and sharing things together. Very important.
Okay. Having time with each other, that's the most important thing, because we all change, we learn from each other. So we also have to grow together rather than grow apart. Diba?
Yes. And I think, well, if I may add lang quickly, is that it's also very important for a woman. I think for me, it's also like maturity. When you're sort of mature enough in a relationship, everything else follows, understanding, and it takes years. And personally, it's very important as well, because we are all professional women. It's not like what I said, like even Rose or even me. I said, I'm very established in Manila. I have my business. I met my husband when I already have a business. I have over 100 people at that time. So I think it's very important for the partners to see that being a very independent person, and having that respect with what we love doing most, is also be given to us, rather than, hey, you're with me, then you stop doing it. So you have to express that at the beginning of the relationship. These are my terms. Take it or leave it.
Wait, bago tayo mag-end. Eto, may isang challenge dito kasi, madaling araw na dyan sa New Zealand and we don't know kung kailan babalik si Asia dito. Kabisado pa ba ni Miss Asia yung step ng ang bango-bango ng bulaklak?
Oh my God.
I remember that. Okay, give us a few.
Okay.
Okay.
Ang bango. Ang bango.
Bango-bango ng bulaklak. Okay, great. Thank you. So you're always game. Alam mo yan. Nakakahawa yung positive energy. She's warm. She's always
She's funny.
happy. Yes.
And beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's just for you, Chad, by the way.
Yes, there you go. Ayan yung mga Viva Hot Babe.
Ayan, Chad.
OMG. Alam nyo, walang sumagot kung sino yung favorite Viva Hot Babe nila. So, Dan Revelo, you have to put it in. Although meron ka ng prize. Ayan, oh. Great advice from Joyce. Be positive from Carmen Hickey. And yun, sa lahat po ng nanonood sa inyo, thank you for
Albert Maria is on Yeah.
Salamat po sa lahat. I enjoyed watching this series today. Yes, because it's just light at meron tayong very sexy guest from New Zealand. Gigi Venus, Maui Naku, Gigi, bakit mo Maui It's so obvious. It's Asia Agcaoili. Come on. We're not going to give it to you. This is my friend. She's just teasing. Anyway, I also like Maui Taylor, but I like Asia the best, of course. Okay. Well, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanood, sa lahat ng nag-participate ng JUANEUKONEK. Abangan po ninyo ang docu-series 6. Balik tayo sa seryoso naman. COVID-19 pa rin yun, ang karanasan ng ating mga kababayang frontliner sa paglaban at pakikibaka sa COVID-19. Maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta ninyo sa JUANEUKONEK for the last 6 months of our project. Hindi po dito natatapos ito. Bantayan po ninyo at the end of the month, we have the docu-series 6. Maraming salamat. Happy Valentine's Day. I am Rose Clarinal.
And I'm Atty Dias.
Hanggang sa muli sa JUANEUKONEK. Bye!
Bye. Happy Valentine's.
Bye!
Juan, saan ka man dalhin ang kapalaran, iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman, pinagmulan at babalikan. Konting tiis na lang at hanggang